if you notice, there are a lot of parallels between marketing and HR, specifically recruitment. The buyer's journey is very similar to the job seeker's journey, except that there are a few additional steps in the job seeker's journey. So now that we've established who's the custodian of the employer brand story, let's look at the core elements of an effective employer brand. So what are the core elements? The first core element is crafting your message. You need to get your message right. The second thing is sharing your message once you've got it right. And finally, you need to measure the impact of your message and see how you can improve it and make it better. So the first thing we look at is crafting your employer brand message. So a lot of times companies think the employer brand is really what a company wants its brand to be. But that's only part of the story. It also includes what employees are saying about you. So if there's a lot of divide between what the company says about itself and what employees are saying, that creates a sort of a jarring message which is not right. So really, you must look at what is known as the talent brand, which is the intersection of what a company wants its brand to be and what its employees are saying, and add a little bit about what a company wants its brand to be, and that is an effective employer brand. So what is talent brand? A talent brand is the honest story of life as an employee inside your organization, as told by your employee and the company in parallel. That is what is talent brand. Ideally, we'd like both of these circles to intersect as much as possible. We'd like what the company wants to say about itself and what employees are saying about the company to come together as much as possible. So now let's look at what goes into the message. There is the value proposition, there is the internal perspective, and there's a job seeker perspective. Now typically this is how HR leaders would categorize according to priority. But you need to think like a marketer. When you're doing employer brand, who is your primary target audience? It's the job seeker. So the job seeker perspective needs to be first, then the internal perspective, and finally, the value proposition. So what's a job seeker perspective? Understanding job seeker perspective is not really tough. There are many ways in which you can do it. You can understand the job seeker perspective in social media. You can understand it through candidate surveys, through candidate interviews, and online review sites. So when you're going to these places, what are the questions really that you're looking to get answered? You want to know, who are the people trying to join my company today? What is driving these people to apply to jobs in my company? What are the things that are important to them when they apply to a job in my company? What information are they looking for which they're not able to find today? And more importantly, what information are they seeking which you're putting out but they're not getting? So these are the questions you need to find out from job seekers who wish to engage with you as a person who wants to join your company. This will help you craft your messages better, specifically messages that matter to candidates. So we did a survey, and we, in fact, commissioned a Decipher Focus Mission to do a survey on our behalf, and we asked what makes candidates connected to company. And really what the answers that we got were mostly emotional, subjective things, like, am I going to have a positive impact on others? How am I impacting the company's mission, etc.? The second thing we need to look at is the internal perspective. What is it that our job seekers are saying? One way to go there is look through online sites, but that's not always comprehensive because a lot of people who take to reviews naturally do it either if they have a very bad experience or a very good experience. So to be able to get a more complete perspective, we need to have a lot more in-depth understanding of what our employees are feeling. So we need to go and get answers to these questions. What company value resonates most with you? What are the things that you love about the company? And out of what you love, what do you share with your friends and family? What are the reasons that make you stay in the company? what attracted you to this company in the first place? And finally, what social media do you use on a personal basis? While this will not help you craft the message, once you've got your message right, it'll help you figure out the right channels to deliver the specific message. So here's some examples of what some companies have done. On Indeed's company page, IBM has some lovely videos that talks about what it means to work at IBM, that they will be able to do the best work ever. Videos are an important method of conveying these messages. And here are a few videos that we've put together for some of our clients.
Artwork.
Well, Home Credit is a world leader in financing mobile phones. We have something like 40 million customers.
IBM, we are a cloud cognitive platform company for the enterprise.
Started with a few hundred delivery executives. Today we utilize the services of more than 60,000 delivery executives of people all across these 18 cities where Swiggy operates.
We have pioneered enterprise adoption of Ruby, Scala, and many newer technologies through Agile. In fact, we are true believers of open source software. We are a community of passionate individuals.
Tell me, if I really wanted to apply, how would I qualify?
The answer is simple, really. Self-motivated, a positive attitude, and we love people who care.
We are looking for all the young, great, talented people who might help us to become the biggest and greatest fintech company in India.
IBM is a place for talent across multiple industries and technologies.
We welcome everyone, from application developers, software architects, UX designers, to big data engineers and data scientists.
How you can apply? It's very easy. Search us in Indeed.com and you will find more.
Join us to create path-breaking software. Log on to Indeed.com and apply to jobs at ThoughtWorks.
Log on to Indeed.com, apply for jobs at IBM, and see you soon.
In one place. Once you've attracted job seekers'
Look for themes in employee feedback. What are the common recurring things that our employees are saying about our company, about working for a company? One good way of finding that out is if you're using Indeed's company pages premium, you would be able to see what your employees are saying about the company, how they're rating it, and rating it across different factors like work-life balance, salary and benefits, job security, management, etc. And if there are any locations where you're not doing too well, maybe that's what you'll need to address to get your employee feedback a lot better.
With employer tools, you can quickly
the next part is creating a value proposition. This is possibly the most familiar part for most companies. All companies have an EVP. But is EVP equal to employer brand? How many of you believe it is? Nobody? Okay, great. So that's the right answer. EVP is not entirely equal to the employer brand, but it's related. So think of a mobile phone, an iPhone. An iPhone has thousands of features. And if you ask an engineer what's great, working at Apple, what's great about the iPhone, they'll be able to roll out thousands of features. But when you take this to the marketer, they'll look at which features matter the most for the market. What is it that our competitors are offering? What is it that the market needs? And basis that, they'll pick out those elements from the EVP or the features and take it out to the market. So for a consumer brand, it's really easy to figure out what the competition has because that's really out there. How do we as employers find out what our competition is doing? Again, if you go back to the company page on Indeed, you can compare your company with other companies over a lot of themes and see how you're doing versus your competition. Pick what works best and start building your message around that. So now that we've finished crafting our message, we'll now turn our attention to how do we share our message. So you'll need to choose the right channels. Your current, past, and prospective employees shape your employer brand already through social media posts, through online review sites, etc. So really, if you were to look at what the right channels are, they are your career site, your social networks, your online review sites, and your online branding solutions. Let's focus first on the career side. This is really the most important piece of property you have from an employer branding perspective. This needs to have all information, all communication that you would like to take out. It needs to be mobile optimized. Because remember, when you do employer branding on social media, most of the people will be accessing social media through a mobile. And if they click on a link to your career site and it doesn't look good on a mobile device, all your efforts are going to waste. Use videos. In one of the keynote sessions in the morning, we were told about how everybody is using video today. You get 1 GB for 5 rupees and really you can spend as much time watching videos. That's how people are accessing information. Have as many videos as possible. Ensure you have content on team dynamics and culture, and make it very easy to find jobs and apply to them on your career site after they've consumed this content. Great companies use mission, purpose, and impact to attract talent. So here are a few examples. Flipkart, for example, talks a lot about how it's more than a job and how they would help developing you as a rounded professional, both in your personal life and your professional life. Ola, which has got another a great company page, speaks about how innovation is at the core of every single job that's available at Ola and how they really promote innovation in their employees. The second thing we need to look at is social media. Share authentic messages through your social media channels. On social media, employee content is king. If you're promoting company-developed content, it resonates very well. Try and see what authentic messages from your employees you can pick up. So on Indeed, any employee who's posting about work-related issues is encouraged to use the hashtag #InsideIndeed. Our employer brand team looks for that hashtag, picks up what is interesting, and puts it out through our social media channels. On the left-hand side, you can see one of our offices celebrating Diwali in Singapore. And the second one is our employees in Bangalore. Indeed, in Germany sponsors a football team, the Frankfurt's football team called Eintracht. And when our team in Bangalore plays football in tournaments, they use the Eintracht Indeed jersey. So somebody from our team posted this. Our social media team picked it up. My colleague in Germany saw this, he loved it. And when he was doing an interview with a sports journal to talk about the Eintracht Indeed partnership, he referred to this. And this photo got published in a German magazine, sports magazine. Imagine how thrilled those guys would be to have their photos in a German magazine. Take concrete steps to incorporate authentic employee experiences into the employer brand. This will help you not only attract talent, but also retain existing talent. And then you have the online review site. What matters to job seekers is what matters to us as consumers. As consumers, we go on to review sites to talk about our experiences, bad. Job seekers and employees are the same. They are talking about our companies whether we like it or not. Every single thing is reviewed, and their experiences every day is also reviewed, and that's not an exception. 87% of job seekers say their perception of what it's like to work in the company is influenced by the reviews that they've read. 98% of job seekers say they've read reviews about a prospective employer before forming an opinion. And a majority of them are reading between 5 and 15 reviews before they make a decision. What they discover through reading these reviews impacts decision making. Now, this is your interview process. 14% of job seekers are still researching your company on review sites when they're taking an offer. Think about them coming across a bad review and being influenced by that not to take an offer. Think of the effort that's gone to waste. So, bad reviews are part of life. How we respond to those reviews is what matters. If you're transparent, authentic from the get-go, that will resonate with job seekers. So how do you respond to employee reviews? Respond in an open and positive way. Be professional. Don't get emotional if you see something which is not real, which may be seen as bad. be honest. It's not only important to respond to negative reviews, if you're getting positive reviews, please appreciate it. And finally, if there is somebody who's bringing up specific issues, address them. If you use Indeed's company premium page, you can feature reviews that are helpful right on top, so that whenever job seekers come, they're able to read the review you want them to read and sort of get their messages from there. Indeed also gives you the ability to answer questions. Seekers can ask you questions and people can respond to those questions. Please ensure that important questions do not remain unanswered, because opinions of others will influence this if you're not willing to put your opinion across. So now that we've looked at ways of taking this message or sharing it, how do you ensure that people are actually seeing your message? That is by selecting the right online branding solutions. For example, the Indeed targeted ad, where you can take your brand message to the target audience you're looking for and get them to see your message. The next thing is, what do you post and where do you post? Be very clear about the objective you have, what do you want to do, and what is the end result that you want to drive. For example, at Indeed, we wanted to create a brand for salespeople as a global sales employer. So we created this video.
Are you ready?
When I have my reputation is shot.
When Indeed first contacted me, I'll have to be honest, I didn't really know a lot about Indeed.
It was a company that I'd never heard of, actually 5 years ago.
I knew that Indeed was up and coming in the industry. I knew they said they were #1, and I did my homework and my research, and they actually were #1.
I knew there was something going on. There was something which would really change the online recruitment market.
When I started looking at the business model, I really thought it could be the company that disrupts an entire industry.
And it really starts with 5 words. I help people get jobs.
I help people get jobs means to me that I'm able to help people worldwide find what their next passion is and what is the next thing that they want to do with their life.
I travel a lot in airports. People come up to me when I'm wearing the t-shirt. People come up to me at the gym.
My mom doesn't think I have any other clothes other than the blue Indeed shirts, right? I think what's great is in one t-shirt we were able to define what our company mission was.
It's great to think that maybe we help a recent college graduate get the first job, or help someone get a better job to further their careers in their lives. We have an opportunity in sales to do that every single day, and that's a lot of fun.
If you were to look at Indeed's product, we offer job seekers access to all jobs that they might be interested in one platform. That's a claim nobody else can make.
We're not selling a singular product any longer. We have almost a dozen different products that we can offer, and just making sure, regardless of the type of job or the goal that our clients have, that we have some sort of solution for them.
We're talking about the human side of hiring. We're talking about how technology is changing quite rapidly in this space.
Identifying the needs that a client has in terms of the volume, the urgency.
There's good news and bad news to working at sales and Indeed. The good news is that you sell all day, and the bad news is that you sell all day.
The job is not an easy job. Sales is hard wherever you do it, so we need to make it fun.
Because we take our business very seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously.
So let's take a look at what this short 2-minute clip said. One, it said it's a global sales organization, because we had people from different parts of the world participating in this video. The second thing it said was that we are very passionate about our mission, which is helping people get jobs. The third thing this said was, this is not an easy job. We were honest and upfront about this. This is tough. And the fourth thing that this video said was, if you join Indeed, it's expected that you start your day talking to customers, end your day talking to customers. If that's your cup of tea, then this is the job for you. So the message was authentic. We were telling people exactly what the job was all about, but within the overarching theme that you'll have fun when you're working. The third part is measure and improve your message. So in order to make informed decisions around your employer branding efforts, you need data. When you start branding, you need to figure out, what is it delivering for me? So on Indeed, you can track metrics like, what are the kind of impressions that you're getting? how many people are viewing your profile, how many followers you're getting, how many alerts are going out for your company's jobs. If you can measure, you can improve. So how do you compare? How do you see whether you've improved or not? Again, go back to your company pages premium, and you'll be able to compare your ranking against other companies and see if there's any improvement. Figure out where the improvements have happened, where they haven't, and try and build a message around those parameters which need more improvement. So a company's culture is not similar across locations. You can find out where your brand has had more resonance, and you can figure out where it needs further improvement. For example, for this company, they have great ratings in all cities except Delhi. So they need to build a message specifically for Delhi and use a channel which can effectively deliver that message to that city. So what are the things to measure on social media? You need to measure your views, you need to measure your likes, you need to measure how many times your message is being shared, and you need to measure the reach of your message. So on your career site, what are the things you need to measure? Visits, how many unique visitors come to your site, how many applications you're getting, how many conversions you're getting from the application, and what is the source of your traffic. It's not tough. There are free services like SimilarWeb which are available, which can help you find out how many people are visiting your site, what are the number of unique visitors, where are you getting your traffic from, etc. And your ATS will tell you how many applications you're getting and how many conversions you've made. So how do you create a candidate persona? You identify trends in your top performers, use your own hiring data, interview colleagues and hiring managers, interview your talent base, keep an eye for hiring trends in the industry. So look at your top performers. If you have a HRIS system, you'll be able to figure out who are your top performers. Look through what are the common traits. Are they coming from some specific institutions? Are they coming to you from some specific companies? What is their background? Which locations are they coming from? And use that to create a persona. Use your hiring data. Look at which sources are contributing to your hires. Where are your top quality hires coming from? Interview your colleagues and your hiring managers. Ask them, what does a successful person in your team look like? Interview your talent base. So what's a talent base? Your talent base are people who you've hired, people who you've made offers to, but they've gone and joined some other company, people who you like during your interview process. Interview them to figure out a little more about what motivates them, etc. Keep an eye on hiring trends in the industry, and with that information, you can build a candidate persona, which will talk about what are the goals and objectives they have, what motivates them, their behavior, what you can offer to them, etc. So now that you've got a candidate persona built, how do you use the candidate persona? Create alignment amongst hiring managers. Speak to the hiring managers and say, this is what our ideal candidate looks like. Adjust your job descriptions so that you incorporated the likes, motivations of people who you think are ideal for your job. Identify new sourcing opportunities. And finally, incorporate this into your branding message. Thank you so much for your time today.